Kampar will be beneficial for us as a site for us to perform clinical research, which will benefit many of Malaysians, as it will be a place where we'll be able to provide treatment, new novel treatment for our people, and as well as to develop further research in the field of clinical medicine.
The Utah Hospital could provide potential research collaboration opportunities and also contribute to the cancer research arena in Malaysia.
Hopefully, very soon, with the establishment of Utah Hospital, we will be able to provide quality and affordable medical care to the people in Kampar, as well as a platform for education and research use for Utah's students.
I look forward to exploring potential research collaboration with Utah Hospital.
I wish all the best to Utah in order to see through the development of the hospitals, and I'm looking very forward to the opening of the hospital in the very near future.
好吧，各位，你们知道吗？在马来西亚有一个协会已经默默地为这个群体服务将近30年了，他们就是马来西亚生命线协会。作为一个非营利组织，长期仰赖着赞助者和企业的捐款，不稳定的财务基础已经严重影响了发展规划。因此，生命线协会正在招募950位95爱心使者响应定期捐款，每个月只需要30令吉或者每年365令吉。每位95爱心使者还将受邀参与1分学习3分陪伴的慈善学堂3.0，一起向国外资深心理师学习提升心理健康。现在就加入95爱心使者的行列吧，帮助别人成长自己。
Sex. Did you say that? You are a monk, remember? I've sometimes said to him, the cameras are on us.
Honestly, the energy between them is 8-year-old boy.
You are mischievous.
What is the purpose of your visit, sir?
Just enjoy our friendship and talk about joy.
I don't think you could find two people on the planet who are more different than the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. One grew up in absolute poverty, the other grew up in a 1,000-room palace.
Unfortunately, that person is Christian.
Unfortunately, he's a Buddhist. There's a lot of shared background. Both of them have deep history of struggle against authoritarian systems.
The Tibetan people are being exterminated. Their culture and religion are being stamped out.
Age 24, I lost my own country.
Amid tear gas and police dogs, Desmond Tutu led a people against apartheid.
When people decide to be free, absolutely nothing is going to stop them from becoming free. You can overcome the most horrendous circumstances and emerge on the other side not broken. When you say you are pursuing happiness, you are not going to find it.
Happiness isn't just something that feels good. Happier people, they're physically healthier, they have stronger immune systems, they even live longer.
ultimate source of happy life inside, not outside. We really become something quite special.
Yes.
I think at time of my death, I will remember you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. I hope Monday is serving you well, and at the same time I hope you can hear me and see me clearly. Good afternoon everyone. I welcome all of you to the Resilience and Wellbeing Summit 2022. On this wonderful Monday, I would like to announce that our session will begin at 3 p.m. A sincere thank you for joining us on today's webinar. I am Sheena and I'm the MC and the moderator for the day. While waiting for our event to start, allow me to introduce a little bit about our summit. In conjunction with University Tunku Abdul Rahman 20th anniversary of its founding in Malaysia, we are hosting a remarkable and impressive summit, which is the Resilience and Wellbeing Summit 2022, together with our co-host partners, Body Counseling Center and Journey Within. Our dedicated partner includes Alliance Alien, Kaohsiung Medical University Positive Psychology Center, Taiwan Mindfulness Association, Taiwan Association for Caring and Counseling for Loss, Malaysia Xiao En Group Counseling and Support, Lifeline Association Malaysia, Malaysia Mindfulness Association, Tan Siang Mitra Welfare Association Penang, Inner Journey Academy, Rocco Films and Sinchu Delhi. The duration of our summit is from 20th of February to 31st of March this year. Till date, we have shared various topics under the themes of resilience and well-being. For this final week, we have hope, self-discovery, and joy. This summit will bring you speakers from around the world, which include mental health specialists, psychiatrists, neuroscientists, psychologists, counselors, and mind training practitioners to provide the insights on mental well-being and strengthening resilience. Please feel free to share with your families and friends about our Facebook Live, where this will benefit them as well. Also, do like our Facebook page for further updates, and you can find the link from our chat box. Okay, so to all our audience today, we truly appreciate you for joining our talk on Swallow in a Storm, Developing Hope in Tempestuous Times. Just a little housekeeping rules before we get started. You are not allowed to perform any recording throughout the session. Our chat box will be closed throughout the session. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel. Your cooperation is highly appreciated. A very brief introduction of myself as the moderator today. I am a registered counselor who is currently serving in Counseling and Guidance Unit, Utah Kampa campus. I am as excited as you are about today's session, and I can't wait to share with you the background of our speaker today. So with us today is Dato Dr. Lai Fong Hua, who is a consultant child and adolescent psychiatrist. He is also a psychotherapist who qualified in cognitive behavior therapy and family and couple therapy in Malaysia. He also focuses on developing a multidisciplinary approach to child and adolescent psychiatry by setting up services through smart partnerships with NGOs. With 2% central vision, he was named Tokoh Orang Kurang Upaya by the Penang governor in 2006. Dato Dr. Lai also serves as a church deacon at Island Glades Gospel Center in Penang. Our speaker today has great depth of experience in this field. So without further ado, I'm pleased to welcome Dato Dr. Lai Fong Hua to share with us. Dato, the floor is all yours.
Yeah. My wife Indrani will be helping me read my slides as I have a visual impairment. I titled my talk, The Swallow in a Storm, actually based on a talk I heard online by a Chinese speaker from China. He was talking about how to bring up children. So I thought Swallow in a Storm is a nice, is a appropriate title for our resilience theme. Okay, let's go on.
If you were a swallow in a storm, how would you be feeling? How would you be thinking? What would you be trying to do? And what would you be hoping for?
Yeah. So imagine yourself a swallow, single swallow flying in a stormy sea with dark clouds above you and surging waves below you. So what are some of your feelings and thoughts? What would you hope for? We live in a time of great uncertainty with the COVID pandemic and now with war in Ukraine, conflicts, possible conflicts all over the world. Sometimes we ourselves feel like a swallow in a storm. And we may feel the same as how the swallow will feel in flying in this kind of weather. Thanks.
It's not for us to choose. What Gandalf said to Frodo in The Lord of the Rings. I'm going to share a video, bear with me.
Yeah, I like this particular section in this movie. You just have a listen and I'll talk a bit about that. This is from The Lord of the Rings.
Excuse me. I am trying to share. I am not sure. Can you all see the video?
I wish so. I wish to see such times with that to decide.
Sorry, I think we cannot see the video.
Okay, hang on a minute. Now there's a bit of a problem here.
Share screen and share.
I'm trying to, but it won't just.
You must unshare the slides.
Yeah, I think that's what I didn't do. My apologies. I think I forgot to unshare the slides as a problem. What do you all see now? Gurshina, what do you all see now? Is it the...
At my side, I still cannot see anything on the screen yet.
It's black, is it?
Yes, it's still blank.
Okay, let me try again. Okay, on my side, the video is playing.
Yes, I can see the Lord of the Rings. All you have to decide. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
That's good. Yeah. The author of The Lord of the Ring is J.R. Tolkien. Tolkien lived during World War II's time. And actually what he said, what he wrote about in this short phrase was actually how what he was saying to the people living during World War II. It is not for us to choose the time where we live in, but what we can do, what we can choose to do is we can choose how to use the time we are given to live our life. So sometimes we can complain, why was I born in this age? Why did I live in this time in the COVID pandemic, so susah? So Gandalf would say it is not for us to choose when to be born, but what we can do is to decide how to use the best of the time that we are given. What can we do that is the best for this time? Okay, thanks.
How can we cope better?
Okay, right. So when we talk about resilience, it is through hard times that we need resilience. So in times of difficulties, in times of trials or difficulties, one question we can help ourselves is how can we cope better in this time of difficulty? Thanks.
Surprising results from a scientific study where 30,000 people were asked 2 questions. If they felt they were experiencing a high level of stress. Secondly, whether they thought that stress was bad for them. And then these respondents were tracked over the next 10 years. There was a 43% higher mortality rate amongst those who answered yes to both questions. It means yes, high level of stress, and yes, stress was bad. But for those who answered no to the second question, that means stress is not bad, their mortality rate was even lower than those who had lower levels of stress.
I have shared this before in another talk. These are quoted from a book by Dr. Kelly McGonigal. She's a health psychologist, and she shared this finding which also surprised her herself. She always thought that stress is bad for people. But from this finding, actually, it shows that actually it's not stress that is bad for us. It is how we look at stress. If we think that stress is bad for us, then it will be bad for us. But if we look at stress in a positive way, if we think of stress as being able to help us grow and be stronger and more capable, then stress is actually, she said, enhancing. Okay. Thanks.
There are 3 possible stress responses. Fight or freeze. This is the response to threat. Then here there is a challenge response, and the third is tend and befriend. We'll now look at challenge response.
Okay. The fight or flight and freeze response is what we have been taught long ago, right? When you're stressed, your body goes into the fight and flight response. This is under threat, okay? And in this response, our body gets ready for bleeding. So our clotting factors increases, our platelet increases. So, but the disadvantage of this, it causes the clogging of our blood vessels, which increases the chances of heart attack, which is no good. Dr. Kelly McGonigal found out that actually our body has two other ways of responding to stress. And she encouraged us to develop these two other ways. One is the challenge response. This is something like the response which you feel when you're going into a badminton tournament or a tennis tournament. You know, you're playing the tournament, your body starts to, your heart starts to beat faster, you're tense, but you don't feel, you're not afraid that you will be fighting with people and then you're going to bleed and die, right? So what your body is doing is preparing you for the challenge, preparing you for the game. And this response is actually healthier, is a healthy response. So more blood goes to the important part of your body, and your body doesn't increase the clotting factors which promotes heart attack. The other response that scientists nowadays found out that during stress, we also have this tend and befriend response. When people are stressed, and this we also see a long time ago during world wars and things like that, many people actually becomes more caring. They start to care for people around them. They start to give a helping hand to others around them. I have a friend of mine who just shared with me the other day. He was bringing his daughter for chemotherapy, and in the hospital she saw older people who has to go for chemotherapy, and the people who are helping them were also old people. And he actually felt a heart of compassion. He wanted to give them a hand and help them. So despite his own difficulty, he actually have this tend and befriend feeling for other people. Next.
My body is preparing me to better face this life challenge. Example, tennis player taking part in a tennis tournament.
Okay. So when you're faced with stress, instead of telling yourself, oh, I'll die, tell yourself that my body is actually helping me to face the challenge. Okay. Next.
The MCO is giving us more family time together. Our siblings have communicated more during this past 1 year via Zoom than all the past many years before the pandemic.
So the past 1-2 years, many people see it as stressful, which is true. It has been stressful and people have died, and there is a danger, a higher risk of dying during this time. But in the midst of the stress, there are other people who saw some positive things out of this period, right? Some mothers are saying that it actually gives us more time with our children. We can spend more time with them at home. Before this, we hardly see them around. And I had another client who was telling me during the MCO, for the first time, our siblings who are staying different part of the world managed to link up on Zoom, and we have chats very often nowadays. Last time we were so far apart, we thought, we forgot about each other, but now during the MCO, we actually link up and started talking. So these are some of the good things that people can see through stressful times. Next.
Experience as a psychiatric registrar.
So different situation we can sort of see things in different perspective. I remember when I was training in the University of Malaya as a psychiatric trainee, my colleagues and I all wish that when we are on call, very few patients will come so that we can have a good night's sleep. But certain nights, despite our wish, patients start coming in one after another, and we don't have time to sleep. So some of my friends get very upset if they are in this situation. They really get very stressed out and say, why is such a bad luck? You know, I get such so many patients and I don't get to sleep. I thought of a way to help myself feel better, because I told myself I'm on training now. The more patient comes, the more I start to learn. More opportunity I have for learning new things. So I see it as an opportunity to learn. Okay, and that helps me feel much better when I don't have time to sleep and more patients come. Okay, thanks.
How can my current challenge be turned into an opportunity?
So you all, each of you may have your own challenges now. Every one of us have challenges. Every one of us have stresses. The Chinese word for stress or crisis is 危机, which combines two words, danger as well as opportunity. So instead of seeing a crisis just as a dangerous situation, see it also as an opportunity. This is an opportunity for doing something. Is an opportunity to learn some new things. I think many of you may have heard of the story of the millionaire in Hong Kong, Lee Ka-sing. During World War II, everybody was selling off their properties. He was the one who thought this is an opportunity to make some earning. So he went and bought up lands that people were selling off, and they were selling it dirt cheap. And when the World War II was over, he became the richest man in Hong Kong because he bought up so much land. So crisis can be an opportunity for us. So the next time you face crisis, the next time you are faced with trials, ask yourself, what opportunity is there for me to learn some new things? How can I grow from this challenge? Thanks.
So instead of saying the long hours, reduced workforce, and having to look after young children and an elderly mother is stressing me out, instead you can say, my body is responding to help me meet the challenge of a temporary increase in demand.
Yeah. So this is something that Kelly McGonigal teaches people to. She said, change your mindset. You don't have a mindset shift. Okay, so that you can put the same situation but look at it in a different light. That helps you feel better. Next.
A boy in a stormy sea.
If you are a swallow in a storm on the sea, you'll be very happy if there's somewhere you can rest for a while. And I'll show you another video about this boy in a stormy sea.
I grew up in New Orleans.
Did you unshare that?
I unshare.
I grew up in New Orleans. My mother worked as a daycare assistant at the Jewish Community Center. The man that I was told was my father was a carpenter and a functional alcoholic. He was abusive to my mother and I. Not more than a baby herself, when she married this man, she tried her best to protect me from him. But with no life skills of her own, she did what she knew how to do. Friday was payday for him, so he would come home happy, but that was short-lived. He would go out and return a few hours later drunk and angry, yelling and fighting her. As I look back over my life, there were many people that had a hand in shining light into my darkness when I was growing up. I had just started junior high school, and in order for me to get to high school, I had to walk through the drug dealers, literally step over the and the drug addicts, walk through a graveyard, then in the next block past gang members, and then go through the projects, and then come to a 6-lane intersection, and it was always busy, but just beyond that was the school. Well, one day as I'm approaching this intersection, I hear this voice saying, "Will someone help me cross?" He was in a suit. He had a cooler in a hand and a folded lawn chair in one hand and his cane in the other. "Will someone help me cross?" he said. People kept ignoring him, walking past him with their busy lives. We were poor, but we were busy. I don't know why poor people are so busy. I said, "I'll help you," in my 13-year-old changing voice. He said, "Well, thank you, son. May I have your shoulder?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Don't trick me now." I said, "No, sir, I won't." We crossed the street. I asked him where he was going. He told me that he was going to my school to sell praline candies to the kids. So I helped him to the school, and he said thank you, and he told me that God would bless me for my kindness. He and I became friends. We took that walk every day. I came out of school one afternoon, and there he was sitting outside in that lawn chair selling praline candies, 25 cents. And I saw one of the kids try to buy candy, right? And they gave Mr. Butler $1, and they told him it was a $5 bill. I stepped in and I said, "Mr. Butler, this is a scam." Needless to say, I had a lot of enemies at that school, but it didn't matter. I was glad to do it. You see, Mr. Butler was one of the first men in my life to see me. And what made it all the more special is that he was blind. He was a point of light. One morning I was late meeting him, and as I walked up to the intersection, I could see Mr. Butler standing there, not saying a word. So I tipped up behind him and I said, "I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens." He said, "I know you're there, son." I said, "Yes, sir, I am." I said, "I didn't hear you saying, 'Will someone help me cross?'" He said, "No, I was listening for you." I said, "You were?" He said, "Yes. Sometimes in life, son, when you pray and you said all you can say, all you have to do is stand and wait and listen." What a point of light he was. There are many people in this world that are wanting, waiting, saying, asking, begging, hoping. Will someone help me cross? We all have the power.
One thing I like about what he said is Mr. Butler, the blind man, was the first person who saw me. When he was 13 years old, he felt invisible. He felt that he couldn't be seen. Nobody noticed him. Everybody looked through him. For the first time, this man acknowledged him as a person. The first time he felt seen by someone. Okay, just a question to my hearers today. A lot of times when we grow up, sometimes we feel really invisible. We are not the smartest boy in class. We are not the prettiest girl in school. So people don't notice us. People see through us. So sometimes we feel like unimportant. And it's great when someone notices us and talk to us and see us. Okay. And this is how he felt. Research all over the world has found this to be true. Children who become resilient, even from very difficult background, one of the common factor that they found in these children is that in each of their lives, they have someone who saw them. That means that there's someone who cared for them. That there was an adult who felt that they were important. They were important enough for them to spend time to talk to them, to encourage them, to tell them you can make it. So as adults, let us be the point of light for young people around us, for children around us. Let us see them as persons, not just as numbers and marks and how many A's. See them as people, right? Boys and girls who need someone to notice them. Okay, next.
Draw your family tree.
I'll skip this. Yeah, next.
Stress can be enhancing. Learn to embrace stress. That is to see your body stress responses as your friend. So say, I am excited instead of I'm anxious.
For years, we have been taught that stress is bad for you. So Dr. Kelly McGonigal actually says stress itself may or may not be bad for you. But if you can see stress as enhancing, as something that is helpful, then it can really help you. So she was saying the next time you stand in front of a huge crowd and you're asked to give a speech, instead of saying to yourself, I'm very nervous, calm down, tell yourself, I'm excited. I'm excited to be standing here speaking to so many people. Because excitement and anxiety has the same symptoms or the same feelings in the body. Okay, when you're excited, your heart beats faster. When you're excited, your muscle tense up. When you're excited, you are more alert, which is the same as anxiety. The only thing, when you tell yourself that you are excited, you feel that this excitement, this increased energy inside is helping you do what you need to do. Okay. You don't fight against it. Next.
My heart is beating faster to send more oxygen to my brain so that I can think better and be more able to meet new challenges.
Yeah, this is what happens when you are excited, right? So the next time when you're anxious or when your heart beat faster, don't say, oh, die, I'm going to get a heart attack. Instead of that, say that my heart is helping me meet the challenge that I'm going to face now. Okay, so my body is gearing up to give me strength to face whatever I need to face. Next.
Values I am living for.
One of the other things that is helpful is to face challenges or difficulties in life is if you have a value that you live for. People who are fighting in a war, their value is, they are fighting for their children, they are fighting for their country, they are fighting for their land. That is a great value, and they don't complain about don't have a nice place to sleep or no nice food to eat, because they have that strong value. I remember when I was a child, my surname is Lai, and I remember my grandfather telling us, when you write the Chinese surname, the head must come out. Okay, in Hakka he will say Lai Chi Oi Chu Teo. That means that the head must be above other people. Well, all he's saying is that you must live your life so that you can be above others, you can excel above others. So that was a value that he put inside us as grandchildren. And until today, I still remember what he said. Okay.
So we can pass on good values to our children.
Yeah.
Now, stress prompts us to tend and befriend.
Okay, we have mentioned this before. Tell you a little bit more about it. When we stress, when we get stressed, many of us know that adrenaline increases, right? And cortisol increases. But there is one other hormone that increases, which many people do not know. Oxytocin actually increases. Okay, and oxytocin is actually a hormone that encourages us to reach out, to make friends, to care for other people. And when we let it work through us during times of stress, we become more caring, we become more concerned, okay, of people. So during the COVID pandemic, we actually see this happening in our own society, right? People are actually gathering uneaten food or extra vegetable and distributing to people who don't have food.
Give your family members more hugs when you are stressed, because caring touch relieves anxiety.
And part of oxytocin, they call it the cuddle hormone. So when you have increased oxytocin, you feel like cuddling. So hugging among family members is fine. So husband and wife should hug more, and parents and children should hug more. Asians, we don't like to hug too much, but it's a good thing to do in families, right? Physical touch actually helps to make us emotionally healthier. Okay, next.
Heartwarming stories during the COVID crisis.
Another example of the 10 and befriend, some of you must have read this story where a delivery man was asked to send one big package of food to an address. When he reached there, he found that it was an office block. It seems this person who ordered food for her family mistakenly given her office address instead of her home address. And then when he phoned them up, he found that the home was actually quite far away, about 45 minutes ride from where he was. And in the end, the person who ordered the food said, never mind, you no need to send already lah, because it's so far away. But this delivery man decided to send anyway. 45 minutes on the bike, he rode all the way, sent it to the house and gave it to the family, because he felt that, otherwise they won't have food to eat. And the family was so touched, and the grandmother of the family actually in the end gave this delivery man an ang pao. At first, the man thought it was just 10 ringgit ang pao. He went to the petrol station to fill his petrol, opened the ang pao, and he saw 100 ringgit. And he was also very touched. So stories like this, I think usually don't hear when times are good. It's only during times that are trying you hear more of this kind of heartwarming stories. Okay, and then this story came out from the MCO during the MCO. Next.
People who have experienced more stresses also find more meaning in life.
Yeah. Last time when I was growing up, I hear my grandparents telling a story during the war, how war was so difficult. But as little children, when we listen to them, it's like watching a movie, Wow, it's so exciting, they live through such exciting life. And as we grow up, especially teenagers nowadays, before the pandemic, all the teenagers say life is so boring, no meaning. Some of them even want to die because life is no meaning. Now with the pandemic, there's a lot of meaning. We just have to find it, because there's so much trials and difficulties, and life is becoming exciting in a way. Okay. Thanks.
So you can think of some meaningful movies that you may have watched.
Yeah, and all the meaningful movies you watch, you may have watched actually are movies with a lot of trouble inside. Okay, because trouble gives life meaning. Not that we purposely go and look for trouble, but when trouble comes, we can find meaning in the difficulties. Next.
What have you learned about life during this pandemic?
So this is one question we can ask ourselves. Last 2 years was not easy. So what are some things that we can learn, or some way we have grown from our experience during these difficult times?
How have you grown as a person or as a family during this challenging time?
Yeah. Okay. Next.
When the going gets too tough, look up.
Okay, this is my last slide, I think. The Chinese word for sky, tian, is one line above the word big. That means what is bigger than big? That is the sky. Chinese word sky also stands for God or heaven. Okay, and someone said this: when the going is too tough, when life is too difficult, don't give up. Look up, look up. There is still sky above you. There is still God above you. I just want to end by sharing my own story. When I was 23 years old, I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. It's a retina problem which degenerates with as I grow older. And my eye specialist told me, your illness have no cure. What I advise you to do is earn as much money as you can now, and then you retire, because by 50 you will be blind. So that was quite a shock for me. And those years were the years just after that diagnosis was very difficult. But I found this song that I'm going to play to you has a lot of meaning for myself, and it gave me a lot of strength to go on. The title of the song is "God Will Make a Way" by Don Moen.
So when the going gets tough, look up. That means have a bigger than self connection. Yeah, God will make a way.
Unshare.
Okay. Let me unshare. Yep, it is.
God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide, hold me closely to his side. With love and strength for each new day, he will make a way. He will make a way. Oh, God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide, hold me closely to his side. With love and strength for each new day, he will make a way. He will make a way. By a roadway in the wilderness, he'll lead me. Rivers in the desert will I see. Heaven and earth will fade, but his word will still remain. And he will do something new today. Oh, God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide, hold me closely to his side. With love and strength for each new day, he will make a way. He will make a way. By a roadway in the wilderness, you lead me. Rivers in the desert will I see. Heaven and earth will fade, but his word will still remain. And he will do something new today. Oh, God will make a way where there seems to be no way. strength for each new day. He will make a way. He will make a way.
With a swallow. Okay.
Yeah, and the falls on.
Okay. So if you find yourself as a swallow in a stormy sea, don't give up. Okay. The storm will pass. No dark clouds can remain forever, and the swallow can still fly after that. I think that's all. Open for back to Sheena for Q&A.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Lai, for the insightful sharing. And also, I appreciate Datin Indrani for being very supportive throughout the session just now. I still can recall when you shared the heartwarming stories, right? It was so touching when we can feel the connectedness, and it shows that every little thing matters, especially during the times of struggle.
Yeah.
So we value more things when we are having difficult times. And I also would say being a non-Chinese, I learned a new word. If I didn't get it wrong, I think Weiqi meaning crisis, right? You mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, Weiqi, yes. So that means we see it as an opportunity to learn something new instead of looking at it as Weiqi, if I'm not wrong. Yes, thanks. Okay, so without delaying more, maybe we can open the floor to our audience to ask questions. And for now, we have few questions. The first one, our audience asked, what is the difference between challenge, response, and fight? They wish to understand more on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Flight response, the usual fight and flight, right? So this is from last time. When we are faced with threat, that means let's say we are in the jungle and a tiger comes out, right? What our body do is, because our body feels the threat that we may die or so it prepares us to fight with the tiger. So how does it prepare us to fight with the tiger? The heart beats faster to push the blood to our muscles. Our eye grows bigger so we can see better, and then the clotting ability of our blood increases. So there will be more clotting factors, more platelet, because the body expects to bleed, and then it must stop bleeding fast to keep us alive. So that is the fight and flight response. Okay. It is good to prepare us for fighting and running away, but it's in the long run, if this continues for too long, it's no good, because then our blood vessels get clogged up with all the clotting factors, and the blood, our blood doesn't go to the right places. It only go to the muscle, so it doesn't help us in the long run, and also our blood vessels becomes constricted because it doesn't want us to bleed so much. So if the constriction happens in the heart, it causes heart problem, okay, ischemia. Okay, so this is the bad part of the stress. But the challenge response, the same thing happen like when you are sitting for exam, or let's say when you are playing in a badminton tournament, okay, your heart will also beat faster. Your eyes also will open bigger to see. But because you are in a safe environment, your body doesn't increase the platelet or the clotting factors. And the important thing is your blood vessel doesn't constrict, it actually dilates. Okay, your blood vessels actually increases in diameter. So more blood gets to your heart, more blood gets to your brain, more blood gets to your muscle. But you don't need anything for blood clotting, because you're not in danger, you won't be bleeding. So that is the challenge response. it's a response without threat, without the threat. So the next time when stress, you meet with stress, instead of telling yourself, oh, I'm going to die already, this stress will kill me, or this job will kill me. If you say that, then you get the threat response. But if you tell yourself, this job is giving me a chance to learn new things, then you get a challenge response. Okay, your body prepares you for the response, but it doesn't prepare you to die. It prepares you to live. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Lai, for the detailed explanation. Okay, and for our next question we have is, could you suggest us how to bring up children in this generation who has less capability to cope with stress and no purpose in life?
There is a Chinese speaker from China. I will first tell you the name of it, so those who know Chinese can go and look it up. You go to YouTube, you type 换个方式做父母. I will explain this later on to the others. 换个方式做父母. The speaker is called Zhou Hong. Okay, 换个方式做父母. Okay, now I'll explain to the others. The title of this talk is actually Change the Way You Parent Your Children. This speaker actually has a daughter who is deaf. I think deaf and dumb actually. And when he first had a daughter, he says, how am I going to bring up my daughter? You know, she's deaf, and what kind of future does she have? After many years, her daughter today is a PhD holder, and she's successful. So now he can come out and tell people, okay, my way is correct. I mean, at least my way was successful in bringing up my daughter. So what way did he use? He used a way that is called, it's used very often by animal trainers. They use a lot of positive reinforcement. We all Asians, we like to use punishment, you know, to encourage our children to study. You don't do your homework, whack with the cane, right? You spelling get wrong, whack some more. Last time my children goes to school, they are giving 10 words to do spelling. One word wrong, one whack on the hand. So we are very good at whacking people, punishing people, but this speaker says that method is actually no good for children. It's going to make children more and more depressed, more and more discouraged, more and more unhappy about going to school. So his way is look for what is good, catch them for doing what is good, and praise them for what is good. Okay, use a lot of praise, and his Chinese word is 太好了, very good. And most of the things he'll say very good. So one day when his daughter came back with the test result, okay, 10 questions. Father looked at it and said, how am I going to say very good? Anyway, he says, very good. Then the daughters asked him, what is so good? I got only one correct. Then he said, you see, when you get one wrong, if I teach you, then you learn one new thing, right? You get 2 wrongs, I teach you, next time you get it right, you learn 2 new things. So here you get 9 wrongs, you're going to learn 9 new things. Isn't that very good? It's just a different way of seeing. You're not encouraging the girl to continue getting wrong, but when they come back with so many wrongs, you actually sit down and teach her, so that in the end, she actually learned 9 new things, which is true. I mean, which is good. So it's an opportunity for her to learn some new things.
I actually teach, and I'm also the principal of my church's kindergarten. we always have teachers and even parents, why are you so stupid? How come you don't know? So then I tell my teachers, you shouldn't ask the child, you should ask yourself. How come you don't know? Because obviously, you were not able to teach the child. And then same thing at home. But the thing is, when the teacher or the parent starts scolding and all that, it's a lepaskan geram saja. You feel better after that, right? But then does the child learn anything? No. Okay, so the right way of responding, oh, I see. Okay, you're not very sure. Do you need help? Okay, can I go through it again? Okay, come and sit with me, then we'll go through this again. That's what we should do, because you're talking about encouraging the child. What we have done in Malaysia, in most of the Malaysian schools, is that the teachers shout and yell at the children, so much so that the children dare not open their mouth.
One website you can go to have a look. It's called the incredibleyears.com.
I will type it out.
Incredibleyears.com. This website was set up by a lady called Caroline Webster Stratton, a psychologist, a nurse who later became a psychologist, and she's an expert in parenting. So she came up with she found only 4 things that are very, very important in parenting, and she shared this on the website. So it's called Incredible Years, one word, and then .com. You can go and have a look. It's an American website.
You'll be interested when I've just typed it in. Once you go to the incredibleyears.com, okay, there is actually like a pyramid. They explain the 4 things that Dr. Lai talked about, the 4 aspects of parenting. And up to a huge amount, almost half is on praise and playing with your child. So you build a good relationship. And then right at the top, the peak of the pyramid, is much, very little, is, okay, all right, punishment. So actually, if you play with your children, you praise your children, okay, you will have a different atmosphere in the house, happier atmosphere, and your relationship with each other will be better. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, very beautifully explained. From here, it's more like eye-opening for all the parents out there. It's more like affirming and validating them plays a very important role. As well as the environment we are in, when we are sharing how we speak, how we show them. It's how they actually capture and learn. That's where it builds the resilience. Okay, thanks for the sharing to Datuk Lai and also Datin Indrani. And the next question we have is you mentioned oxytocin. If I understand you correctly, oxytocin is good for us. May I know how to produce more oxytocin in our body? Maybe
come and listen to more Dr. Lai's talks.
Oxytocin, people usually start coming. We hear of oxytocin in women who are giving birth, right? That's when oxytocin is produced. But recently, they find that oxytocin is also a stress hormone. So when a person is stressed, not only adrenaline is produced and cortisol is produced, oxytocin is also produced, and there's another chemical called DHEA is produced. So oxytocin and DHEA actually are good hormones during stressful times. So how to produce more oxytocin? One is get into more trouble, then you have more oxytocin. but then we don't purposely look for trouble. But when trouble comes, don't complain too much. Tell yourself this is the time when oxytocin is being produced, so let me make more use of it. The other thing is helping people actually helps your oxytocin to increase. when you lend a hand to other people, when you, despite your own difficulty, like I told you, my friend, he was sending his own daughter for chemotherapy, so he has difficulty himself. But when he saw other people who were even less fortunate than him, he started helping them. So in doing that, you actually increase oxytocin. You actually increase that good hormone in your body. So when you help other people, even in difficult times, and we have seen this very often in during the MCO, right? We hear of stories where people would go and help other people, even though they themselves are not that rich. But when they do this, they actually feel very good for themselves. They feel much better. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dato' Lai. And looking at the time, I think we have a last question to go. And earlier, Dato' Lai shared about some meaningful movies, right? So could you name some of the movies that you found meaningful?
Lord of the Rings, I like Lord of the Rings because there are a lot of nice quotations. My own favorite is the old movie, The Sound of Music. Maybe those of you who are older may like.
The younger ones must go and watch The Sound of Music.
Sound of Music is beautiful. It's also set in a difficult time during World War II. But a very heartwarming kind of movie. One movie that you like, but most of them are usually how people get through hardship and come out stronger. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dato'. Is it okay if we go for another question since we have some time? Okay, thank you. From one of our audience asked, I am interested to know how you find the purpose after you were diagnosed of the eyesight problem and knowing that it wouldn't be cured.
Wow. I'm a Christian, so one day I read a verse from the Bible. It's as if God said this to me. I have a verse from Jeremiah. It says, I have a plan for you, a plan not to harm you, but to bless you, a plan for a hope in your future. So it's like God telling me, don't worry, you may go blind one day, but I have a future plan for you. And looking back, I think God have come true to His word lah. Despite although now I can't see really well, but I'm still living a meaningful life, and yeah. So don't give up. Don't give up. Yeah, that you can find meaning even through difficult times. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dato' Lai. That was really inspiring and very motivating. So before we end our session today, is there any words or sharing you would like to share with our audience
Maybe
today?
I can say something.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I want to say is that Dr. Lai losing his sight was stressful. Okay, but it's amazing. Okay. What were the avenues, the way, God will make a way. So number one, in 2001, all right, he obtained a JPA scholarship to pursue child and adolescent psychiatry at Oxford, UK. And at that time, he had 40% sight, right? So he couldn't work part-time as a doctor because part-time doctors there, they work at night in the hospitals. So I said, never mind, I will teach. And I got a job teaching English language and literature. Very unusual, a Malaysian going there to teach English. Then after that, when he came back, okay, there were opportunities to do cognitive behavior therapy and family and couple therapy. Also, okay, on scholarship, all open for him. And then, all right, one of the things that people would definitely not expect is that he is awarded a dato-ship in 2016 for all the mental health work that he did. And when you look at it and you consider the fact that this man has been losing his sight, all right, and in the end, he's even awarded a datukship by the governor of Penang. So it just shows that God was with us step by step, although sometimes we couldn't see him.
Yeah.
We only see him, when we look back.
And having said that, I couldn't have done all this also without my wife Indra. Okay, back to you, Sheena.
Okay, thank
Oh, by
you.
the way, one thing. When you are, those of you who are looking for a life partner, okay, don't look for someone who looks good, etc. You should look into the person's heart. So when I decided to marry Dr. Lai, I was not looking at the sight. I was looking at the heart. And I have to say, I chose very well.
Thank you. Okay, Sheena.
Thank you. I really admire how both of you actually compliment each other. It's something that you will definitely want to follow upon. Thank you so much. It's so inspiring and sharing this with us today. So without further ado, I will wrap up the session for today. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Lai, for speaking and inspiring us. Same goes to Dr. Rani for sharing. It was really insightful. And we are grateful for the time and effort that you took to share your thoughts, your experience, and your video we can relate well. Okay, and I believe all of us today can benefit immediately from the knowledge that you have shared. So thank you once again, Dato and Datin. And also I would like to thank you, our participants and our Facebook viewers for allocating your time being with us today. So on behalf of our organization, we would like to invite you to leave a few words under the Facebook live stream of this event. And you may click the link from the chat box at the bottom of your Zoom control panel. And also not forgetting those watching us live, you can also join us at the comment section because your view and your thoughts could inspire us more today. Okay, and before I end the session today, we also would like to share that our summit is offering a free virtual screening of an award-winning film, Mission Joy, as a closing bonus. This is a documentary film, shares the humor and wisdom of the two of the world's most beloved icons, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and offers inspiring discussions about how we can find happiness in troubled times, which very much, I would say, related to what we have heard in today's session. So to know more, please refer to our summit website, which has been shared in the chat box. And if you are yet to register, also you can click the link to register yourself. And lastly, we would like to promote a little about Utah Hospital, a non-profit hospital, and will be self-sustainable. Your valued support and generous contribution to this hospital project will greatly benefit medical and health science students, the community, and the nation. So to support Utah Hospital project, kindly click in the link below, www.utah.edu.my/UEF for donation. So everyone, thank you and looking forward to your participation in Mission Joy movie screening. So I would say thank you again, Dato' Lai and Dato' Indrani. And bye everyone. Let's have a good day today. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.